Carter Mazur returns from an injury.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network and sponsored by Draftkings. I'm your host, Connor, and I'm here with my brother, Kyle.
How's it going, everyone?
So we're pretty much a fan podcast by fans. We're not experts or anything. We're just diehard fans. We like to give away a bunch of stuff and do things along those lines just to make anything to do to make the Griffins better, make more people get involved with the Griffins, find more friends, similar interests who like the Griffins. So that being said, we have a Marco Casper giveaway. It's about your last chance to get in it. You need to go on our Facebook or Twitter or our Reddit, and you just need to go to our original post, which should be right in our featured section, and follow us, and comment your favorite player. You'll put in the drawing. So try to win that. Thank you very much. So Carter Mazur returns finally after a long time being out.
Yeah. Carter Mazur is back. Obviously, big news for the Griffins here. He's been out since the third game of the season. He had a goal and assist before exiting with the injury. And yeah, pretty much it's a huge setback. And now that he's back, already has an assist.
Yeah, he pretty much was. He was right on the top of leading our team along with Berger and Casper last year. And without that injury, I believe he would have excelled really well. But the injury definitely stunned everything. So we're really hoping that he can get back in motion and start scoring goals for us, because we could definitely use it right now.
Yeah, and with Soderblom going up, some missing pieces, and Lombardi's still out, which sounds like he's going to be out for a while. Mazur's someone we need back in this lineup sooner than later. So, great news there. I think in other news, we just kind of wanted to remind y'all that the All-Star game is coming up. Dan Watson was nominated for the AHL All-Stars coach. We also have Austin Watson and Sebastian Cosa making the All-Star team for the Griffins. So, congratulations to those guys. Just wanted to throw that out there again.
Yeah, I know most people don't really watch the NHL All-Star even, so I don't expect a lot of people to watch the AHL All-Stars, but you still just root for your guys and watch the highlights and see what you guys did afterwards. At least, we can get into the standings and divisions.
So yeah, to give you guys an update on what's going on with the standings in the AHL, Griffins are in first place in the Central Division with 52 points now after a victory today against the Manitoba Moose. Texas Stars have 45 points in second place. Milwaukee Admirals, third place with 45 points. Chicago Wolves, fourth place with 40 points. Rockford Ice Hogs, fifth place with 37 points. Iowa Wild, sixth place with 30 points. And Manitoba Moose at the bottom with 24 points in seventh place.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of a little bit embarrassing getting beat by the Manitoba Moose. I honestly just hate watching the Moose games because it's a really defensive game, and there's a lot of neutral zone time, not a lot of scoring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Texas Stars here are a team to watch out for, as they are 8-2 in their last 10 games, really heating it up, and with fewer games played than both Grand Rapids and Milwaukee. So just kind of take a look at the league. We got Calgary Wranglers on top with 55 points, tied with the Hershey Bears. And then we got Laval Rocket stepping back up, getting that third place, and Grand Rapids Griffins also stepping back up, showing that we do belong in the top with 52 points. So Cleveland Monsters been hanging around at 5th place basically this whole season.
We have played 6 out of 8 games. Well, actually, 7 out of 8 games now. And we kind of had their number. So clearly we belong up here. And a little heater by Carter Mazur returning and win a few games here. I mean, we could be sitting in the first spot. Run a little 4-game win streak, and that could do a lot of good for us.
Yeah, I agree. Just going to take a look at the league leaders here, as Andrew Poltarowski with 42 points leading the league for San Jose in their rebuild system right now. Looks like they're off to a good start with the right players. Otherwise, you can see Cole Gutman, if you're familiar with Rockford, at 37 points in 4th place in the league. Obviously, a guy Chicago is wondering why he isn't on their team.
If it looks like Del D. Blue, we have seen him 7 times this year. So.
Yes, we're familiar with him, and I believe he has stepped up to Columbus Blue Jackets now. But we can go ahead and start talking about the team leaders for the Grand Rapids Griffins here. We'll start with the goalies.
So, leading the team, we got Billy Husso with a 2.12. I mean, everyone up in Detroit got mad at Husso because he's not very consistent up there. Seems to be an emotional thing for him up there. Comes down here, dude's an absolute stud. He's definitely too good for the AHL, but at this point, you almost got to think that it's best for him to have a different move to play in the NHL. I bet you if he went back to St. Louis or did something else or just had a fresh start somewhere else, I bet you he'd be a better goalie in the NHL. And then you got Jack Campbell, who's a stud too. He's been badass. He's got a 2.15 goals against average. And then Kosa, the man that everyone wants to hear about. It almost looks like he's the 3rd best goalie. People might be panicking right now, but he's definitely our number 1 guy. He's been taking the brunt of all the load, and he's definitely our number 1 here. But so save percentage, Billy Husso also in first. He's got a .931, and then Kosa with the .920, and then Jack Campbell with .917. Carter Guyander .89.
So getting into goals with the forwards here, Sheldon Dreiss tagged 2 of them today against the Moose. So 17 points leading the team. A little separation from Joe Schneively as they have been climbing this ladder together along with Dominic Shine. So
if you look at that list, you can see that there's all those veterans we were talking about that we need to step up when the rookies get called up. Well, the rookies got injured. Well, you got Casper going up. You got Amadeus Lombardi going down, and you got Carter Mazur going down. That's 3 your top 3 scorers from last year's playoffs. Obviously, Berggren up too. And, yeah, that's what you need for a AHL team to compete in this league and to compete for a cup. You got to have your veteran guys always competing, and then you got your new guys to come in and just put the cherry on top and take that talent to the next level.
yeah, and Amadeus Lombardi still hanging on there with 9 goals, still leading this team. You can see for assists here, Dominic Shine really leading the way with 21. And, of course, Nate Danielson with 18 right behind him. Nate Danielson showing that he can also contribute to this AHL game as he has passed the puck around quite nicely this season.
And then you can't forget to mention Ante Tuomisto and Shai Buum both have 14 assists. As defensemen, you got Shai Buum on the left, and you got Ante Tuomisto on the right. Those two are probably the best defensive prospects we have right now in Grand Rapids.
So yeah, you got Dominic Shine leading the team with points, 32. Austin Watson with 28. Joe Snively with 27. Sheldon Dreiss with 24. And Nate Danielson with 22 points.
Yep, once again, the veterans all up there on top, and then you got Nate Danielson coming in. You know, the brats, the bronze, the balls rookies. You know, he's the number one guy down here for forwards at least, and you know he's a first round pick last year.
Yeah, and his game doesn't all shine in offense. His game has shined defensively as well. So, great things for Nate Danielson here.
Yeah, we just like to see his points continue, and hopefully he can start scoring a little more. And he kind of has like that pace of Marco Casper, the same development rate, but they're different little players. I mean, they both are good on the boards, but you almost see more of like a Dylan Larkin out of Danielson, and more of like almost like a Brad Machon out of Casper. That aggressiveness.
So we can go ahead and get into hot and cold. But first, I think we're going to get into our DraftKings ad.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Remember, all lines and odds are subject to change. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's when you bet just $5, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Welcome back, everybody. So in this segment, we like to pick a player who's cold. We like to pick a player who is hot, and then we use a random number generator, and we talk about a player whose jersey numbers matches the number we draw, and we place them on a scale of hot and cold. So start out with our cold. Who do we got for cold today, Kyle?
So today for cold, we're going to be throwing Jakub Rakowski. We just haven't seen a whole ton of development out of him over the last 10 games or so. Yeah, I think cold's a good word to use, as he's done some good things on the ice. We're just not seeing the results of it. So, like I said, pretty quiet in his last 10 games, and he's collected 3 goals on the year, 4 assists for 7 points, and plus minus 0. As someone that's supposed to come in and kind of blow up offensively, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, like you said, 0 points in his last 10 games. I mean, we wanted to see more than that. I've definitely saw a lot of really cool moves by him, like some dekes and some really fast stuff along the boards, but nothing's really gone the net. That's crazy. He has those 3 goals, obviously, but I just expected a lot more. He was like one of the top scorers in the Czech league. We're just really hoping for a little more.
So we can go ahead and get into hot now. For hot, we got Alex Doucette. In the last couple games here, he has really blown up. For 4 points in the last 3. Has looked really good against the Cleveland Monsters here this season.
Yeah, he definitely adds another tool to the Grand Rapids Griffins team. He's got that aggressiveness and relentlessness. He's got speed. He gets right in there, and he can score. Like, don't give him the puck or he will sink that. So he's been really great lately, and I think he's gonna probably be down here in Grand Rapids for probably this year, next year, and might just make a name for himself down on this team.
Yeah, things have been good for him. I think he's pushing in the right direction for sure. he has that physical tenacity, that aggressiveness. The same thing that like Cross Hannes and almost like Casper has. They're just really determined to end up with the puck on those 50-50 battles, and really like to see him starting to get rewarded for that. So, like we said, he's got 14 points on this season. Hopefully he can start to collect himself a little more as he is heating up. So for a random player here today, 3, Torridello.
So Torridello, he hasn't done much great, I'll tell you that. He's made some good plays, but he's kind of been invisible for the most part, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess there's some good to be said about that. The fact that he has been invisible.
That
when
is
you're
a good thing.
When you're a defenseman, it's almost a good thing. You'd rather be invisible than extremely noticeable. But that's about all I can say for him. He's been getting more ice time as of late, but I don't think it's something that he's got 20 games, a goal, 2 assists, 3 points, but he's a -2. I don't think he's a guy that's going to overwhelm the fans with big moves or big time offense or anything. I think he's been out there as a good veteran player that, I mean, he's done his job. He's not doing anything outstanding out there. So
just lukewarm, I'd say.
Yeah, just right in the middle. He's not too cold though.
Room temperature.
Yep, room temperature.
Room temp. And
that'll wrap us up for hot cold and our random player. We can go ahead and get into Griffins earning wings.
So in this segment, we like to talk about the former Grand Rapids Griffins and how they're doing, earning their wings in the NHL, or even just playing in the NHL, or any Griffin who is an alumni, pretty much. So we're going to talk about Elmer Soderblom getting the big call up. So Elmer Soderblom is called up to the Detroit Red Wings. He is a 2019 6th round, 159th overall pick. He's been called the Unicorn because of his big size. He played on Frölunda for a while, and he made his debut as a professional here in North America. He played for the Detroit Red Wings for 21 games, which was very impressive. He got 5 goals, 3 assists, and 8 points until he went down with an injury. After he went down with that injury, he went down to Grand Rapids, where he almost seemingly struggled for a while, and a lot of people forgot about him, but he was just down here refining his skills. So this year he had 38 games played. He's got 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points, and 4 plus-minus. And he has 9 points in his last 10 games. So he's really starting to come on. He had a little bit of a scoring issue at the beginning of the year, but he solved that. He started hitting the back of the net, and everything else he was doing was great, like his physicality, his skating, his hands, his ability to create space and just like extend plays with his reach, like make it so other dudes just can't compete with that physicality. Plus, when he flattens dudes, so he's just a tool that the Red Wings don't really have. Like, the Red Wings don't have anyone like that or that size except for Rasmussen. So like I said before, I think he's like the perfect call up, and if he plays good, I think he could stick up there, and I don't know if he'll come back down. I mean, Valeno's a healthy scratch for him.
Yeah, we got Austin Watson down here playing with Soderblom, and a lot of people think that's what really changed Soderblom's game down here. If you're, like Connor said, if you're underwhelmed by the 17 points he's put on the season, he didn't score until more than halfway through. So it really was kind of a Like he's got 5 points over the last 2 months. Or 5 goals. It's really not bad numbers. He's putting on a heck of a show every time he gets the puck. He's got some pretty good moves that make any fan of their team happy. So him being up on the Red Wings, I believe he's got given Rasmussen a little bit of competition for that big guy role. And yeah, Rasmussen is, another big guy, but I think they want to see a little more physicality out of Rasmussen, and I think Soderblom's showing that right now.
Yeah, and I saw that they were practicing together. Rasmussen and Soderblom.
And it's like NHL, there are some big guys out there, but to have 3 players at like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", like we have Soderblom, Rasmussen, and Edvinsson out there, eventually it gets pretty intimidating.
Yeah, like I said, if he plays really good up here, I don't think he'll come back down. I mean, he's at that age where it's like almost time, and his size is just, you can't look over it. Like, you can't find a guy like that. You can look, but you can't find.
They're not really out there.
There's
like
a lot of small dudes who can score. There's a lot of small dudes who can play a defensive game, but you can't find big size like this. So if he comes back, we'll welcome him with open arms. If he stays up there, good for him, and congratulations on earning your wings. So let's talk about some of the other guys a little bit. So we got Marco Kasper going up there. He's been doing all right. He's definitely a rookie. You can tell he's a rookie. But, he's gotten time up with Patrick Kane and on the first line and everything.
Yeah, he's been playing with Larkin too, which has been fun to see. Definitely getting him a lot more chances playing with the higher quality players. And yeah, still, the chances they get when they're out there, when it's Kasper and Berggren and Edvinsson, it's all these guys that we got to watch down here in Grand Rapids. It's just so fun to watch. But yeah, Kasper, I think he's a guy. I don't know if we're ever gonna see him in a Griffins jersey unless the Red Wings don't make the playoffs and they want him to stay on the ice playing.
Which even at this point, even you think they might just keep him up there, so he's not like, oh, I'm on the Griffins again.
Right.
But come playoffs, if we have a deep push, I wouldn't be shocked if Eiserman's like, all right, all you guys who are eligible, head back down.
Yep. So, yeah, with Kasper, 43 games, 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points. Looking to clean up that plus minus. I think that's his step right now. Just kind of become more of a reliable 5-on-5 player.
Yeah, I mean, his board play and his aggressiveness has always been great. And his offensive game's always good. He just has a couple things to clean up, and the defensive game.
Yeah.
See him be just a solid third line, second line, even center for a long time to come.
Yeah, and Todd McClellan, I think, is going to optimize the use of what Kasper can bring.
So Johnny Burgers, Jonathan Berggren. So he's definitely, since McKellen came in, he's been playing a little better. Gotten a few goals. Getting the first one the other game, starting scoring. He's got 46 games played this year. 8 goals, 5 assists, and 13 points with a -3.
Yeah, it's really improved since McClellan's been in the head coaching spot too. Just a better optimization of these players and putting them in spots where they're going to succeed and actually get points. So love to see it, and hopefully it continues here.
Yeah, because Berggren down here, he started out as the fifth guy. He got to the point where he was down here so long, they just started getting him scoring. Now he can score. I mean, he's a perfect example of really good development down here. You can almost see how he's like getting the spot over Valeno too. from the development. Lano didn't have much development down here, so that's just interesting to look at. Yeah, Burgers, love him. Definitely has some things he can improve on defensively still, but good job, Berggren. Get to Simon Evanson. Obviously, he's a absolute beast. He's got a +8 ±. He's got 19 points this year in 44 games. He got 4 goals, 15 assists.
Yeah, the +8 really stands out as an absolute defensive stud on this team. He's starting to play like it too. He's starting to look like he owns his ice, and these NHL pros that are basically celebrities are coming up and getting owned by Edvinson. He's throwing them on the ground. He's made fools of them already. So I love to see that, just like Sider did when he came in. And yeah, now we got 2 beastly defensemen beefing up the system. So I love it.
Yeah, and he's really starting to get comfortable up here, and you can see that he's really starting to try more things, and he realizes he can get away with a little more than he thought he could initially get away with, and it's starting to make him look good. I see him breaking out here in the next couple of years, big time, and I'm excited for that. But let's get to his partner he's been paired with lately, Johansson, which I love seeing these two paired together.
Yeah, there was an article on them. The bromance is back together from Grand Rapids, so it's good to see those two playing and continuing that ice chemistry as Johansson's season has come alive, and he's almost well earned his job on this top 6 defensive pairing. And yeah, leaving some question marks for some of the veterans that we brought in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely more comfortable when he's with Edvinson. You can see that for sure. And then, I mean, you got to realize his ceiling is he's never going to be like a first pairing. He's going to be bottom 4 pairing forever, probably. But he's going to be a solid guy. And, like, you got dudes like Hull and Schrott who are just giving the puck away. I think Albert Johansson, for a lot less money, it's just makes sense to have him out there. I mean, he's going to be a solid guy, especially with the chemistry he has. He's been with the guys. He's been through the Griffins, been through the development.
Yeah, and he's a 2nd-round pick that looks like he's going to make it, and not all 2nd-round picks make it. So
yeah, especially an undersized defenseman like him.
Yep, and he's still young, so a lot of time to work with him, and hopefully all the best to Albert Johansson.
Yeah,
got to make sure we say it right.
Yeah, Johansson.
So that should be it for earning wings. We will get ourselves into the penalty box
after some ads. Welcome back. This is the final segment of the episode. We call this the penalty box. We like to end the episode on a fun note and step out of hockey. It's our one chance to step out of hockey. We like to pick the biggest idiot of the week and throw him in the penalty box for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. So this week, I am throwing in the penalty box. I am throwing a woman golf cart driver. Ohio State Buckeyes win the national championship for college football. And Ryan Day, head coach, gets on a golf cart with a woman driver to escort him out of the arena. The woman driver was so distracted by the confetti and all the fun going on that she ran right into the corner of the wall. Got stuck in the tunnel. I mean, this thing was lodged in there. They couldn't even get it out. Very unimpressive. Pretty sure she lost her job. And she's going into the penalty box. So Have fun in the penalty box. I promise you, this was not a hit from Michigan football on Ryan Day. They did not hire this woman driver, but woman drivers aren't all bad. Some of them are actually really good. But yeah, so that should wrap this episode up. Have fun in the box for 5 minutes. So yeah, that should pretty much wrap us up. But we have a couple of Griffins games coming up. We got
the Rockford Ice Hogs coming up on Wednesday. Another winning Wednesday chance to keep this streak alive. So,
and then we have the Colorado Eagles coming up. They're coming on for the weekend. It'll be Princess Night this weekend and $2 beers. So grab your friends, grab your $2 beers, come down to the Van Andel Arena, enjoy some hockey. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard. 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you. AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye. Thank you for listening to the Griffins